Hello everybody, my name's John, a retired cook from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video recipe. And today I'll show you how to make this wonderfully soft and moist carrot cake with a light tender crumb and delicious cream cheese frosting. It may look impressive, but it's surprisingly easy to make, and I'll guide you through every step you need to make this beautiful cake. And this week's recipe was suggested by this month's newsletter winner, Jeremy Malley-Smith, who wins a £15 gift voucher to spend on the website. Nice one, Jeremy. You can see the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on the channel's website. And the link to that page and lots more is in the description box under the video. Just find and click on the word more. And that'll give you access to all the relative links for this video, including our website store products. Right, let's get on with making this absolutely beautiful carrot cake. Okay, I'll start by grating the carrots on the large coarse holes on my box grater. Coarse grating will add a much better texture to the finished cake. And make sure your carrots are nice and fresh, not soft and limp. They'll taste and grate so much better. And there you go, grab yourself a free grater with your next order, guys. And while I'm in this great mood, I'll grate the zest of a small orange on my microplane. And I'll set that aside for now. Before going any further, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 355 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 4. Next job, I mix all of the wet ingredients together, starting with the oil. And I'm using sunflower oil in mine, but vegetable oil can be used too. Next to go in is 4 large room temperature eggs, followed by the vanilla extract. And the final wet ingredient is this plain yogurt. Adding yogurt to cake mix makes the finished cake significantly moister, and that's perfect for carrot cakes. Now, using a hand or an electric whisk, beat that until it becomes light and airy. And FYI, using oil instead of butter will increase the chances of your cake rising significantly. And I don't know the science behind it, it just does. On to sifting in the dry ingredients. First to go in is the flour. Now I'm using self-raising flour in mine, but if you're using plain or all-purpose flour, you need to add an extra 2 teaspoons of baking powder to the recipe, making a total of 3 teaspoons. Just follow the instructions on screen. And the next to go in is my teaspoon of baking powder, followed by the salt. The first spice to go in is 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. The next spice is a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg, but freshly grated nutmeg is so much better. And you'll need to grate in about 1/3 of a whole nutmeg. And if you get one of these handy little graters from the website, I'll even throw in a free nutmeg to get you started. Okay, top all of those dry ingredients through your fine sieve. And now you can add the light muscovado sugar. If you can't get that, just use caster sugar instead. And if you are using muscovado, make sure you get all of the lumps out of it before you add it to the flour mix. Right, using your hands, give that a good mix together. Once it's thoroughly mixed, form a well in the middle. And now pour in the wet ingredients that we mixed earlier. Add your orange zest and your grated carrots. And a very quick mention to the channel's Patreon, PayPal, Super Thanks and YouTube's new membership supporters. I'll do the name splash and shout out a little later in the video. Okay, using a spatula, gently fold it all together. And while I'm doing that, why not join our monthly newsletter and keep up to date with everything that's happening on the channel. Jeremy did, and he won this month's competition by suggesting this wonderful carrot cake. Make sure you get your spatula right down to the bottom of the bowl. You don't want to see any pockets of flour in the mix. Once you're happy that it's thoroughly mixed, you can add the last of the ingredients. First, half of the walnuts from the recipe, slightly crushed. The final ingredient is the mixed dried fruit, or you can just use sultanas or raisins if you wish. Okay, now give that a final gentle fold together. And that's it, your carrot cake batter is done. And how easy was that? Now just let that rest for 5 minutes while we prepare the cake tins. And these are the deep cake tins that I'll be using for this recipe. Sizes are on screen, and I've lined the sides and the bottom with parchment paper. And there is a limited number of these cake tins on the site if you're interested. Right, time to divide the batter into the 2 tins. And if your measurements were correct at the start, you should have around 1550 grams. That's approximately 54 ounces. So I'll add 770 grams to the first tin, about 27 ounces. And there's no need to weigh the second tin, it'll definitely be close enough. And to prove that, I'll weigh both, including the weight of the tins this time. And there you go, and honestly that was pure luck that they came out exactly the same. I'm definitely putting the lottery on this week. Okay, time to get them into the preheated oven, which you should have set to 180 Celsius, that's 355 Fahrenheit, or gas mark 4. Now let those bake for 40 minutes. Right, onto the cream cheese frosting. Add the icing or powdered sugar to a bowl. And now you can add your softened butter. And it does need to be unsalted butter. Now to get it started, roughly mix those two together with the spatula. Don't go straight in with your whisk or you'll end up with a kitchen full of powdered sugar. Okay, now using a hand or an electric whisk, beat them together until they're light and creamy. In real time that took about 2 minutes. Now you can add your favourite plain cream cheese to the mix, and this is the one I'm using. And to avoid any chance of the mixture splitting, add half of the cheese at first and blend it in. Once blended, you can add the other half and mix that in too. And that, folks, is your cream cheese frosting all done. Now stick it in the fridge for 10 minutes before using it on your cake. And if you've been enjoying the recipes here on the channel, why not treat yourself to my 5 recipe books? And we have a very special deal on at the moment. Buy our 5-pack of books on our website only, and the bread book 4 is included absolutely free, saving you a massive £11. Each one is packed with many of the dishes you've seen on YouTube, and they include helpful tips and handy QR codes that take you straight to the full video, so get your order in while the deal lasts. Okay, time's up on the cakes, so let's see how we did. First job is to test that they're done. And if your stick comes out clean, they're ready. Mine is, so out they come. And if there's any wet batter at all on your stick, bake for a further 5 minutes and try again. And they're looking and smelling fantastic. Get them onto a wire rack and allow them to cool for at least 15 minutes before attempting to get them out of the tins. And when I come back, we'll get the cake creamed and decorated. Right, they're still a bit warm on the bottom, but cool enough to remove them from the tins with a glove on. Once out, you can get the edge papers off, but don't remove the loose base at the bottom just yet. Okay, I'm ready to start decorating the cake. And out of the 2 cakes, this one is the least attractive, so this will become the bottom layer of the cake. And I can now remove the tin base, but leave the paper on for a moment. And to level off the top, I use a shallow cake tin like so. It's a great way of cutting the top off straight. And don't worry, that piece will not be wasted. Now I can peel off the paper and get it onto the cake stand or serving plate. Okay, load the cake with half of your frosting, which has been chilling in the fridge for the last 10 minutes, so it's now at the perfect stiffness to use. Now spread it out evenly, but leave it a bit shy of the edges as shown. Remove the base and parchment from the second cake. Now carefully line it up and place it on the bottom one. Gently press it down so the filling squeezes out towards the edges of the cake. Now you can add the frosting to the top of the cake. And take your time with this. Keep your work tidy, especially if you're in the catering business serving the public. People really do eat with their eyes first. Use your spatula to lightly tap the icing to create a stippled effect. It looks really good and gives it a nice textured look. Now it's up to you how you decorate the top. Right, from the 50 grams of walnuts that you should have left, Place 8 whole ones equally spaced around the edge. Next I'm adding 8 of these little candy carrots, one above each walnut. I think they look really cute. Now you should have a couple of walnuts left, so I've crushed mine into little pieces in the pestle and mortar and I'll sprinkle them over the cake. Another decoration I sometimes use is to finely grate a little carrot over the top and dust with the little ground cinnamon and nutmeg. And there you go, easy carrot cake all finished, and it looks amazing. Right, I'll get everything cleaned up and when I come back we'll see what it tastes like. Okay, time to give this wonderful carrot cake a try. One thing about using the evenly spaced out walnuts for decoration means you can cut or portion the cake much easier. And this size carrot cake will give you 8 very generous slices. Right, I've taken all the thumbnail shots I need, so time to give it a taste. And honestly, the cake is so moist and light, and I absolutely love that cream cheese frosting. Well, I hope you give this very simple carrot cake a try. You'll definitely get a big thumbs up from your family and friends for this one, guys. And as promised earlier in the video, here is the latest name splash and shout out list, including YouTube's brand new loyalty membership supporters. And they are Jens K3250, The Doctor 1225, CDB 150, and this month's recipe suggestion winner from the newsletter, Jeremy Malley Smith. And there's also 2 who wish to remain anonymous. Thanks very much, guys. I really do appreciate all that you do in supporting the channel. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.